to close things out, guys, you are on the Got Your Back podcast, which means we have to get a Got Your Back story from you. So we always ask our interview guests about that time in their life where somebody came through for them and somebody had their back. Brock, we'll let you go first. Give us your Got Your Back story, my friend.
So I've been fortunate. I've had a few in my life. One, I can't decide between two, but I'll go with this one. One night I was watching a Leafs Habs game on TV, and I was living in Montreal. I was playing for Concordia. And I wasn't really paying attention between periods, but there was this young guy being interviewed, and he was talking about following in his father's footsteps and making the NHL as a GM. And I wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden he said, "And I'm gay." And it was Brendan Burke. And Brendan said that, and I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I'd never heard somebody in hockey say the word gay unless one player was calling another player gay on the ice or in the locker room. The hockey world's a very small place, as we all know. So I got in touch with Brendan that night, and I came out to him. And we instantly became friends. At that point, I had finally accepted who I was. I had just broken up. I was in a 3-year relationship with a guy that nobody knew about. I hid it from every family, friend, you name it. No, not a soul knew, and we had just broken up. And then Brendan and I formed this friendship, and we talked every single day. It was a relief for me. I finally had somebody I could talk to about being gay who knew hockey. I had somebody who I could talk to about my breakup, because nobody even knew I was going through a breakup. And for him, he had his hockey family and he had gay friends, but nobody who understood the duality and you know, the two worlds. So we found each other, and Brendan was my lifeline. Brendan is the reason I've come out. He sent me a text one day and it said, "I can't wait for the day that you're out to your family like I am to mine." And before this, we would talk all the time about advocacy and creating a space in this game and working together to do it. And all the work I do now are seeds he put in my mind back then. And he'd sent me this text and it said, "I can't wait for the day that you're out to your family like I am to mine." And I ignored it. Not because I didn't think my family would be inclusive or supportive, but because they were so involved in hockey. And I was afraid that they would stand up to the language. They'd become more sensitive to it, stand up to it, and accidentally out me. So I ignored Brendan's message. And 2 days later, Brendan passed away in a car accident. I felt like I needed to honor him, and I came out to my family right after. He had my back for months, and I try and honor him every day, everywhere I speak, everything I do in this space, because he had such a profound impact on me.
Brock, that's a beautiful story. And thank you for sharing that, man. Bayne, I know you've got a lot of stories too, and just wondering what comes to mind. Yeah,
I got lots of stories, but no, thank you, Brock.
Boy.
I remember when I'll let you and Pierre regroup there. I think I remember Brendan as well. I was, Brock doesn't like to say it, but I'm a couple years younger than him. You can tell.
Debatable. Debatable. My skincare routine says otherwise.
Not a lot of gray in that beard. Not too much. Little at the front.
I can remember Brendan as well. I never got the opportunity to meet him because we were around the same age, but I remember his impact and watching that interview with James Duthie and saying, "Oh, wow, there's someone that is, in this game." And it goes to show the humanization and allyship. And I think Brock and I take a little bit of Brendan in the work that we do. He was the real trailblazer, and and his dad and brother continue that on. And Brian's a massive advocate and has become a friend and an ally for us as well. So let's not forget that Brendan could really pave the way for the young generation in hockey to be executives. But My story was who got your back was a little more recent when really best friend and client Tyson Barrie was here in playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I had floated around to some of my friends that I was, you got to remember, I only came out 2.5 years ago, right? So publicly, I was out to my family and a few friends, but so I remember sitting around with Tyson and his fiance now, Emma, in their condo, Nazem Kadri's condo, actually downtown. They got traded houses. So we were at Naz's house having some red wine one night. It was the middle of a season, one of those snowy Toronto nights, and I think it was November. And, I was pondering with Tyson, hey, should I go public with this? Should I not? And we were sitting on a glass of wine and Tyson, really said, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do this and just come out and lay it all out there. And Tyson stood up and said, effing rights. And we opened up about 3 more bottles of wine. And it was just, when you're so fearful of approval and peer approval. And for a guy like Tyson, who, has become a really good friend over the years, but also a massive advocate, that push that I needed, for him to just stand up. He could tell I was teeter-tottering and just say, you know what, let's effing do this. And you know what, take the world on. And just when you have that support from people that you hold in such high regard that have your back, it's kind of the push that you need when you're pondering coming out and living your truth. So mine would really be, Tyson having my back that night and saying, giving me the uplift to say, him and his wife, Emma, to say, you know what, let's do this. And that's really what stuck with me of my memories of Tyson in Toronto. It was a short stay, but that was a life-changing moment for me.
Incredible, man. Pierre, there's a lot of emotion on this week's edition. I'm not used to this many feels on the pod, buddy.
You guys are used to breaking down forechecks and deep pairings, so this is we're hitting home here.
Yeah, 100%.
A couple of courageous guys here joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, guys, can't thank you enough for what you're doing, but also for taking some time to help us understand things a little bit better. And hopefully some people who listen to this podcast who maybe had differing views, maybe they learned something today too, because I know Pierre and I most certainly did. Guys, great work, continued great work, and thanks for being here.